Doing our research on these other topics. Well, we're good at our research.
All right. So we're live here on Two Chicks Tell All. Finally figured it out. I know last week I had some technical difficulties with trying to figure out the whole live thing. So I'm just hoping that we got some people popping on. But we'll go ahead and just get started. So we are Two Chicks Tell All. It's your girl Tay Tay here.
And Cece.
We always like to give a friendly disclaimer that, the people and places that we talk about in each episode, we change the names just so like the identities of these people are protected, because we don't want anybody to get hurt or anything like that. So we always, just keep everything pretty quiet. Not pretty quiet, but secretive.
I think we've been good about like the way we refer to people. We'll normally just say that dude,
yeah,
or this guy,
or I'll come up with some fancy nickname or something like that.
Yeah, if there's something definitely appropriate to the character, we can throw in stuff like Turkey Boy and things like that.
Guitar Man, I've said that one. Yeah,
so, yeah, but we've been good.
I think we've done pretty well with trying to hide the identity of people. So this is our very first live stream.
Yay!
So I finally figured out how to do it through StreamYard, and StreamYard is awesome, but it definitely has its moments. But for the most part, this is a good piece of software to use. So this is going to be an open panel. So how this is going to work is we're going to have a little segment towards the end where if anybody who wants to come up, they can come up and just chat and interact with us for a few minutes. So we'll let you know whenever that time comes. We got some pretty exciting things to cover before then.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get into this because we
finally had a story. Yay!
We got a viewer story.
So
this was probably last week sometime. I'm just chilling at my computer and I saw that we had gotten an email. So I was literally so excited that I called my mom and I was like, "Hey, look, Ma, I made it. I got my first email." So I thought that was pretty exciting, and it was good that we are starting to gain new people. So I'm very happy to see all this.
And this was a parent avid listener here too. She's been listening. So thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening and for all your kind words. We definitely appreciate it. So this little story that she shared, I'm not going to share her name because she didn't state whether or not I could share her name. So I figured that, we'll just stay away from that. But this little story is in reference to my episode that I did called "Does Size Matter?" So she really enjoyed that episode, and it ended up that she had a good little story to go along with it. And she said that I could share it. So that's what I'm going ahead to do.
Hitting on the main points here. Yeah, she got very detailed.
Which, we love that. We love details. Right, yeah. Just we got to cut some corners here for time. But, we're going to tell this story though. So basically what the story is that a guy that she used to work with always used to brag about having a huge penis. He always looked for an opportunity to talk about how big he was and how so many women were after him because of it. He once said it was a 10-incher.
10-incher.
That says every guy imaginable.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So this all changed whenever this gentleman sent her a dick pic. The pic was a close-up of his penis with a ruler right next to it, so you could see exactly how long it was whenever it was erect. So, the evidence was all there. He wasn't, hiding anything. It was all put out there. So the gentleman sent a message to the viewer around 15 minutes later, begging her to begging her not to show it to anyone else, and saying that he was so sorry, but the viewer had already sent it to every single one of her female friends by that point, which, I mean, I kind of would have done the same thing.
Right, yeah.
I hate to say it. I wouldn't have called the boy out, but I would have been like, "Hey, look at this."
Right.
So it was no accident that he sent it to the viewer, And she found out that he had also sent it to someone else with the same apology to her around 15 minutes later. So I guess he was just trying to send his junk all around the office, it sounded like. So from then on, they were making jokes at work and measuring various items in the office with a ruler and saying things like, "Damn, that thing's smaller than I expected. It doesn't even measure 6 inches." And they were all laughing about it. So, men really do need to understand that if you're going to be bold and send an unsolicited dick pic, we're going to talk about it.
Right. And it's going to be shared.
It's going to be shared. It's going to be talked about for days upon days to come. So, men, you just need to understand that little point. Mm-hmm. But we're gonna judge, we're gonna criticize. I mean, you were bold enough to send it to us.
Well, and I'm sure that they have the same sense of like when they are with the girl. They probably have some talk when they get back around their fellow, especially if it's like somebody a dude's been like really kind of trying to get and hook up with, and then he finally hooks up with her. She's gonna be talking. He's gonna be talking. Oh yeah,
like I think it definitely works both ways whenever it comes to like the genders in regards to like nude pics and unsolicited pics. Like that's just how it goes. Like if you send a picture unsolicited, like it's gonna be talked about.
Which was really new to me because when I moved here, I really had not come across anybody at this point that brought that up about them getting these pictures. And it wasn't until I met it was actually some friends of Tay-Tay's, and we all went out, and this one lady was saying how she had been on this online date thing or whatever, and they and lo and behold, it wasn't like, and not long after they had been chatting on this, that he sent her a dick pic. And the way she said it was so funny because I didn't really get it at first. I said, "A what pic?" And she said, "A dick pic." And I said, "What? Like a picture of his dick?" And she's like, "Yeah, a dick pic." And I had never heard that. And now more people down here have told me that, oh yeah, that's the thing. And I'm like, no, I would be like, if somebody sent me that, I think I would have to be like, then no thanks. Like, don't even message me or text me again. Game over.
I don't know. I just feel like it's very bold of like some men to just assume that like we want to see that.
Right.
I mean, I would personally like to get to know you before we get on that level.
And then
like, what happened to that?
I would want to wait for that, the right time to be able to see that. And I wouldn't, if I'm seeing it, I hope you're not putting it out there and snapping pics and sharing it out there with all these other women, which is sad. I know a lot of women, it's like, oh yeah, check my dude's phone, check my dude's phone. Man, I wouldn't want to have to do that. Like, I would, it's just sad that it's hard to really feel like you can totally trust a dude at this point.
Yeah, unfortunately, ever since social media and oh my God, social media and cell phones have become a thing. It's just made it really hard to like have that trust barrier sometimes.
We've talked about that in some of our episodes.
Yeah, so you're gonna want to go back and listen to some of that because we definitely do reference some of that.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into some other topics now. So basically this episode that we are doing right now is about wellness and de-stress and self-care. And what are some of our goals and aspirations for the new year? Because I know that I have a little list of things that I would like to accomplish within this year. And I know that Cece does too. Yeah. So, we're going to talk about all of that because, we kind of want to branch out, whenever we had started out with Two Chicks Tell All, we had planned on just being like strictly dating and relationships. But how can you tell all whenever you're sticking to just those two topics?
Right, yeah.
So we've decided to kind of just like branch out. I mean, we're going to talk about dating and relationship topics here and there. And they're probably going to be intermingled with what we do, honestly.
Right, yeah.
So you're still going to get a taste of that if that's what you are into, and that's why you've joined the channel. We're still going to be talking about that. It's just we're adding some other things into the mix as well.
Right.
So I basically just found some information about de-stressing and how to do it and why it's important. And I just kind of want to share that with you. So, in order to de stress, basically that means to relax your body and mind and stop feeling the effects of stress. Which that statement sounds really
I
simple,
know, right? Yeah.
but it's actually, it takes a while to kind of just like de stress, unfortunately. So, I kind of just wanted to go over some signs of stress and anxiety in your life, just in case, you were wondering how to identify these things. I figured that I would kind of just, give you some signs. So, change in sleep, that can be a big sign of stress and anxiety. If you're stressing about something, if you're anxious about something that's about to happen, you're going to have trouble sleeping.
I can relate.
Or you
Relate to
might
that.
or you
Relate
might
to
sleep
that.
too much.
Yeah.
Like it could be two different ends of the spectrum, honestly.
It's funny. I sleep a lot now, but I'm not stressed like before I moved, and I was like under a lot of stress just, because of everything too. Moving, having to sell my house, finances and stuff like that, everything. And boy, those are not the pleasant nights when you wake up
They're
at like
not.
3 or 4 in the morning and you can't get back to sleep and you just pray. Needless to say, you always do like 15 minutes before your alarm goes off, but in the sense of it really does affect your mind, because I think at some point you get to the point at night that you are gonna fall asleep, but your brain rests and then your mind almost like, I think it kicks in before, and then your brain kicks in before you're actually, more or less, your body's wanting to wake up, but that's what wakes you up. And then you can't go back to sleep, which sucks.
Right. No, that definitely isn't a fun thing. So you could have a change in appetite, which, like I said, that could go both ways as well. You could either be eating too much or eating too little. I personally know whenever I'm stressed out, unfortunately, I eat more.
Right. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
which
Oh, yeah.
in the new year, I kind of got some goals and aspirations that we'll be talking about in regards to that. So we're going to get into that. Trouble concentrating can definitely be a sign of stress and anxiety in your life. If you're having trouble just concentrating on daily tasks, you might be stressed out or anxious. Headaches or dizziness, exhaustion, which kind of goes in with the change in sleep,
Right. Yeah.
clenching or grinding your teeth, aches and pains throughout the body, and muscle tension. So, just to let you know, I am not by any means a medical or psychological professional.
This,
So,
yeah.
if just a little disclaimer. So, if you're having any of these
Right. Yeah.
symptoms
If
and
you're having a whole lot of all of those, like, now you
and
might
you're
you might
just
want to seek some real
yeah,
good
and you're
medical
just
help.
like, and you're a little bit unsure about what's going on with you, you might want to go see your
I know,
doctor.
right? Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be going by what Tay Tay says.
Right. We just do research.
Yeah.
We do our research. What we report to you is stuff we find and statistics we find and stuff
Yeah,
and
because
everything.
I know that if I go on Google and start to self-diagnose myself, I
Right.
think
Yeah.
I
I
get more
mean, geez.
stressed out.
Yeah.
So just don't do it. If you're having any of these things and they're majorly affecting you, I would, go see a doctor, go see a psychologist, see what they can do to help you.
Right.
So, stress can impact a person on multiple levels. It can impact your mental health, or you may have physical symptoms. If you let these signs go unchecked, they can lead to depression, heart disease, diabetes, and more,
Right.
which kind of goes off of what I had just said. So, if you're experiencing large bouts of the signs of stress and anxiety in your life, you might want to go get that checked.
Yep.
Just we want everybody to be safe and healthy. So, ways to tame stress. Get active. I know that
Right. Yeah.
whenever I work out, I feel like I'm less stressed and my anxiety is lessened whenever I'm on like a workout routine.
Well, and that increases your endorphins too, so that helps decrease your stress levels. So yeah, the best thing you can kind of do for yourself, really.
Yes. Eat a healthy diet.
Oh yes.
Cuz I know
Oh,
I know for one, if I eat like a crap ton of processed
oh
foods
yes.
and I drink a lot of alcohol and stuff like that, like I feel like crap because unfortunately what they put into these processed foods, we don't know. we don't know what they put into this, and it could be stuff that is triggering like our whole body.
And I know when I go to the backyard buffet, I really do feel that.
Listen, you're allowed to once in a while.
Okay.
You know, you
Oh my
can
gosh.
eat food in moderation.
It's a place here, I tell you, no lie. They do the country cooking and it's buffet. And we live on a coastal area too, so they have seafood even on this buffet. But I have not had a bad thing off that buffet. It is some good food, but it's one of those that you almost want to go midday and only plan to eat that one meal, you know, because you're gonna be full like all day, but you want to eat as much as you can. But it's good food.
I know it sounds good. I haven't eaten there yet, but it sounds good. So you want to avoid unhealthy habits, which obviously that's a big
alcohol
thing.
And all that. Yeah,
I know that I
Tay-Tay's good. She's not when we go out, she's always mostly the designated driver because she's not a drinker.
Yeah, I mean, I like to throw back a few, but that's about it.
Yeah, so she does good. I, on the other hand, do enjoy my cocktails.
She's allowed to. It's okay.
Oh yeah, I'm having wine now.
Okay, who's
with me? Cheers.
So meditate. I know that you had something to say about meditate.
Well, my aunt is in her 60s, and she is someone that I'm real close to, and she's a true believer in meditating. She meditates every day, like for at least like 20 minutes. She meditates, and she's tried to like help me and show me to meditate. I just cannot do it. I mean, and I truly think there are some people out there that, and a lot of people actually that do this. There was somebody I saw the other day, this actor, and they were even saying that like Jerry Seinfeld had given him advice and told him to meditate. And so, and he hooked him up with this guy and he started meditating, you know, but I don't know, maybe I just need to have not to say my aunt's not a professional, I think she is to me, but you know, maybe I need to have somebody else do that because I have a hard time shutting off my brain.
So do I.
For that amount of time. Even if, you know, I'd be lucky if I could do it for 5 minutes, you know. Maybe I should try it again, but and then it's so funny because people say sometimes get those tapes or get those apps or something where they talk you through it. Well, to me, I can't do that thing because I'm like trying to listen to what the lady's saying.
Yeah.
So then it's like, how am I supposed to calm my brain,
right,
and listen to what she's saying and do that at the same time? Like it's just too much for me. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I almost feel like exercise is a good thing for me. That's
me too.
Or you know, when we get days when we're able to go out on the beach, that's my meditation.
Yeah, that's some good meditation there too. Yeah. So laughing more. I know that
I love to laugh.
That definitely makes my stress levels go down if I'm, you know, laughing more.
Love to laugh.
Connect with others.
Oh yes, gotta have your peeps.
I feel like whenever I'm stressed out, if I just call a close friend or talk to somebody, like that seems to help. So
reach out. Yep.
Reaching out and connecting with others. Assert yourself. So basically what that means is, you know, set boundaries. Like if you feel like you're doing too much, like it's okay to say no. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Is basically what I mean with that. Try yoga.
There you go. And I'm a Pilates instructor. I teach Pilates at a local gym and teach 3 classes a week. And I mean, it's not like a meditation in relation to yoga. It's actually more of a strength training form of exercise. But the ladies in my class, I think they go into the meditation state because a lot of them, it's the same stuff we do and similar exercises. And I can see them kind of tuning out. No, they're really focused on their body, which is a good thing. But you do feel a lot better when you leave that class.
Right. So get enough sleep, which I think we've talked about that.
Right. Yep.
Keep a journal, you know, definitely writing down like your feelings and how you feel does help.
Horrible at that.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Never been able to do it.
I need to get better at that.
I've found journals here and there where I've started writing, like, especially when it tend to be when I would meet a dude or something and then I'd be like, oh, I met this guy. And then I'd start writing about it. And then like, you know, maybe I get a week or two.
Yeah. Get musical and be creative, you know, just put on some music and dance. I know that sometimes sets my stress levels down. Seek counseling, which that's actually something that I've been actively doing for about 5 years. I go to see a mental health counselor for my anxiety and depression, and it has helped a great deal.
Yep.
You know,
Self help.
never be ashamed to ask for
No.
help because it
No.
can definitely, help.
And it's so sad because, we lost Twitch, the
Yeah.
dancer guy not long ago. And so many people were shocked and just in awe about it because he always was like big smile, always so happy, and nobody knew. And it's so sad because it's almost like, but we hear that story again and again about some of these actors and actresses that are, up there that choose to do this. And it's like, it's just unknown. And a lot of people say, oh, I just never would have thought. So, please, if you need help, reach out to somebody, there was something, and I swear I wish I could remember what this quote was, because it was almost like something like a bad day alive is better still than a day dead or something like that. But
I've heard that one before.
And everybody thinks it's always a way out, but you don't realize that people love you around you. They love you and they don't want you not to be here. So just always remember that.
Right. And I see that we now have 3 people in here. So if you're in here, just pop in on the chat and say hello, just so we know who's in here. We would love that.
Yes. Hey peeps.
Hey peeps. So practicing breathing exercises. I know that helps me whenever I'm having a moment.
Yeah.
Minimize phone use and screen time. That's a big helper for me too. Consider supplements. So, take your vitamins. Practice self-care, such as going for a walk, taking a bath, lighting candles, reading a good book, getting a massage, or using a diffuser with calming scents.
Or drinking your wine like I just poured my refill.
Taking a bath is definitely something that I do for self-care, like every night probably.
Not a good bather. I get in there and after about 10 minutes, I'm done. I just can't sit in there for some reason.
I can sit in there for like an hour and a half. No
problem. As a matter of fact, I'm like the fastest person you ever gonna see shower because when I went home for Christmas and stayed with my dad, I went in there and I'd be like, Dad, I'm getting in the shower. And I'd go in there and I'd be out in like 8 minutes maybe or 10, max 10 or something like that. And I came back out in the kitchen and he was in there and he was like, you done showered? And he said that to me twice when I was there for like 9 days because I was so fast coming back.
That's funny.
I do what I got to do. I get my ass out of there.
Reduce caffeine intake, which that can definitely help with anxiety because anxiety has a tendency to make your heart race. I mean, for a lot of people it does.
Yeah.
And caffeine can make your heart race too. So just kind of limit that whenever you're having your little anxious moments. Create boundaries and learn to say no. We kind of discussed that with assert yourself.
Right.
Avoid procrastination. Cuddle. I like that one.
Yeah.
Spend time in nature.
Hugs
and
are good.
Cece, this is a good one for you. Spend time with your pet.
Oh my God. Y'all don't know. All right, so I got to tell my little story.
Yeah,
really fast though, so I won't take a lot of time. But
no, go for it.
So a week ago, I found I went outside and there was this lizard, like the green ones you see out, in the back, and he was out on my deck and he looked kind of pitiful and everything. And I was like, dude, are you dead or whatever? Well, I got him on my hand and I brought him inside and I put him in this bowl. And I looked at what they would eat. Oh, they would eat lettuce. I had some lettuce, dark lettuce. So I put some in there with him. Well, I literally kept him in for a little bit. And I think I talked to my dad actually. And my dad's like, you need to just put him back out. So I put him back outside, but I left him in the bowl and turned it sideways so he could get out. But I left the lettuce in there or whatever. And I have a little deck off the back. So I get home 3 hours later and he's back literally in the same spot where I found him. Right. And I was like, all right, this dude's telling me something. He really does need help. And we've been having some really cold temperatures too, but I'm thinking, well, these guys live outside, but it's really not their time to kind of be out yet. So I bring him in and I ended up going to the pet store that night, got him a little cage, got some stuff for him, talked to the person at the pet store or whatever. Oh, they eat like little crickets, little tiny crickets, got him some crickets. So long of the short, he was not eating. So, and he would barely he would lick water off my finger. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's something. And so 4 days later, so I found him on Monday. So Thursday, I go to a different pet store and to see if there's something else I can feed him, And the guy was like, and this kid, young kid, bless his heart. And I'm already emotional because keep in mind, I lost my dog back before Thanksgiving. I had to put him down. So I'm attached to this little lizard because every morning he was still like alive. So the boy tells me, oh, well, he's going to die. If he's not eating by now, he's going to die. And y'all, I seriously, and there's another girl back there that worked there too. I seriously started crying right there in the pet store. Like, lost my noodles, boohooing and everything. And so he tells me I should just put him back outside, let him be one with the nature, put him out. And I'm thinking, I can't do that. And even the girl was like, oh my God, I would love on him. Cause I'm like, this lizard had gotten where he was attached to me, like literally liked to be on me, didn't like to be in his cage. Like I would put him out, he'd crawl up on me. He would literally hang on my shirt when I worked because I work from home. He would sit on my leg when I would chill in the evenings watching TV and hang out on my leg or whatever. So he didn't like really being in his cage at all. So not only that, the kid convinces me to buy this other leopard gecko. Oh, here's this guy, and he's not that expensive, and because I swear I said to myself, if my dog died, the next pet I would get would be a bearded dragon. Well, they had those, but they were $80 without all their setup and need more care. But they had this leopard gecko, less care with his cage, reasonable price. And I said, well, dude, if I buy him, because of course he takes him out, makes me put him in my hand. And after I've already gotten attached to the little green lizard that I named Buddy, I'm thinking, Buddy's gonna die. I need another like backup. So I said, well, I will buy him, but you got to hold on to him at least for a couple of days and let me still nurse on this lizard. If he's going to die, then, I'm going to do what the girl said and love on him. So y'all, lo and behold, I then decided on Friday, still not giving up. Oh, wait, I even to the point where somebody said in my Pilates class, one of the ladies said, oh, I had this friend that had some and they heard that they like scrambled eggs. I scrambled the damn lizard an egg. He wouldn't eat it. Still didn't eat. But on Friday, I went and got him fruit flies, little, and tried to give him some of those. Didn't eat it. Finally, yesterday, the little guy starts chomping down on the flies. He's eating worms. I had to go pick up the other lizard, which I named Gus. He's hanging now. So now I'm the mother of two lizards, which Buddy likes to be out all day on me. And I'm still getting Gus like acclimated to me. I haven't really handled him only to the point to move him in a better cage. But I turned into a dog mom to now the lizard mom. So you'll be hearing stories about my and Buddy's he's on YouTube. If you look up Buddy the lizard, you'll find some videos of Buddy the lizard. He's quite the little character. So anyway, which kind of falls into one of the things we're going to talk about in like New Year's and resolutions is this is my thing. Don't give up. Like, do not give up. Like, don't ever give up. Like, that kid told me that lizard's dead. He's not going to live. He's not eating now. And the bad of it, too, is his back end is black. Like, his tail and his back hind legs are basically black. And the guy seemed to think maybe he didn't fully come out of hibernation, and that's why they are. But he can't, and he would never survive. Like, he would be bird food or something. So, like I said, damn sure wasn't gonna put him outside. But I didn't give up on this guy, and this guy didn't give up, and now he's like scooting around like a crazy one and eating up, and now I have two lizards. So there you go.
Yes, she has two lizards now, everybody.
Oh my God.
They're so cute, though. I'm not even gonna lie.
They're too cute.
All right, so we kind of covered de-stress and self-care, some different tips on how to handle that. So we're going to get into some goals and aspirations for the new year. I know that I got a couple different goals going. Like, this is my year where I'm going to get healthy because I definitely have some health problems that I know would probably be lessened if my weight and diet was better. So that's definitely something that I'm working on. I'm doing a diet right now where I don't eat processed foods. I haven't been drinking alcohol.
She's done good. She's done really good.
And basically I'm not really drinking or eating anything that has like added sugars or anything like that. It's a lot of like whole foods and, potatoes and chicken and vegetables, and you're using like avocado oil or light olive oil. I'm doing a lot of that, and I've been working out every day, and so far it's been going really well. I've lost a couple of pounds, and I'm working on trying to lose more. So that's definitely a goal of mine. Another goal is I really need to stop caring what people think.
Yes.
I need to start just believing that, I'm going to be who I want to be. And if you don't like it, you don't deserve to be in my circle of peeps.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's definitely something that I'm working on. I'm working on getting a thicker skin and working on just, not really caring as much about what people think about me. Because I know like who my true people are, and I know who the good people are. So, if you don't like me, that's your loss. That's how I look at it.
Exactly.
In the dating world, I'm not really like trying. I hate to tell you, like,
which is the best thing to really do. I mean, everybody always says it's not really when you're out there looking and everything that things happen. And honestly, if I can think back in at least 3 of the 4 serious relationships I was ever in, all 3 of those came to me when I was not looking. So
Yeah.
I do believe in that. You just gotta, get just, don't let it kind of worry you,
Yeah.
and hopefully the good will come.
Yeah, because I figure, somebody good will pop in my life eventually. I just,
Right, yeah.
it's just, I don't know. Men nowadays, I hate to say it, but y'all are a different kind of something.
It is a different kind of
Like,
something.
if you're not sending like unsolicited dick pics, you're either ghosting or you have like a whole nother life.
Right, yeah.
So it's just, I mean, that's how a lot of guys are. You have like your certain ones that aren't like that, but I'm just noticing that this seems to be like.
It's hard to feel comfortable and thinking some guys are really more genuine, I guess you could say nowadays.
Yeah, because it's hard to find like a genuine guy. Like, I hate to say it.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like my goals and aspiration for the new year. Kind of like, get healthy.
Yeah.
And not really put a whole lot of focus into what people think about me anymore.
Yeah.
And just, being my true authentic self. And if you don't like it, then that's your loss.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of how I feel about that. Do you have some goals and aspirations?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of like with you on mostly all those too. I mean, that's the stuff I would like to work on myself too, definitely getting healthier, and eating better. I mean, I'm so bad. I'm just, the things I know I shouldn't. I'm like, oh, last night I was eating the chocolate again, which actually, I mean, some of that's not bad. But
yeah, dark chocolate's not that bad.
But I do want to get more back, cardio and doing some of the cardio and stuff. And then increasing my business. I did start a business when I was moved down here last year because we're on a coast, the beach. And Pilates, I'm an instructor, certified in Pilates, where I do the classes on the beach. And I have my web page or my Facebook page and all set up, and really didn't promote that like I wanted to. And I have really good support in my class and the ladies that take my class. And, some of them are like, yeah, I'd come. And I'm also trying to buy a house. So that's another kind of goal I got to really reach pretty soon, because I'm in a lease that it's running out kind of in March, even though the guys let me kind of stay a couple months longer. And
the housing market
is bad down here.
It's bad right now.
It's bad here where we are, and
yeah,
there's no inventory. And excuse me, I hate to say it, but I'm used to living in a home and having that space, because I have people that come and see me. And it's almost to the point I think I'm going to have to settle for possibly a condo or a townhouse, which I'm okay about,
I live that condo life,
Taylor's
and I love
condo,
it.
And
yeah.
So, but it's just, for what I really could afford, it's just going to be a little tough. So got to get the house situation set out and get my business up and going to try to really profit from that, and then I do want to really get involved in a volunteer group. I actually ran into this guy back in around the holidays in Walmart that works with the kids with Down syndrome.
Oh, they're
And
my
yeah, so
favorite. I
I
love
actually have
them.
his card, and I think I still know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
And I need to try to get with
They're the
him because
sweetest
they
souls
actually
on the
have a huge
planet.
event in March. And I used to be really involved when I lived in Columbia. I can't say that because that's not where I'm at now. But I did a lot with some of the organizations down there, and I've always been one and giving back and doing what you can for others and helping out who you can. So that's, I think, some of my goals.
And
So
I wouldn't mind getting in on some of those goals with you, like
yeah.
the volunteering and
Oh
stuff
yeah.
like that.
It's always fun when you do it with a partner.
Because I know that I don't know, but like I feel better whenever I do
Oh yeah.
stuff like
It's
that.
I always say you don't realize how much it helps or
Yeah.
how much you get out of certain things. I mean, we did in Colombia, they have families helping families where you donate or you adopt families and all. And some of them you could specify like one person or whatever, a veteran, or mother of one or two. And we did veterans. But those people are actually, I was amazed because one year we got like these thank you letters from these people because you're identified by a number. So if they want to get a letter to you, they can get it to you by ways of sending it to the organization, and then they get the letter to you. And I actually got to be kind of know who the person was that organized it because I did volunteer and help them out some. But we got these letters. One guy, he was a veteran, and he had lost his twin brother not long ago, and he had no other family and everything, and he was just such appreciative of everything. So I read these letters and almost cried because I was like, this is not why I did this and why I do this, but that's what I'm saying. You don't realize what you get back, and you might not get the thank you letter, but you get the feel good that you're doing something for somebody who's in a bad situation. So
yes, definitely. So we're gonna get into like a little viewer's response. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post the link.
Oh wait, one thing we did,
yeah,
we slightly skipped over, and this is one thing. This is funny because I know a lot of people relate to this. And
I'm just gonna go ahead and post the link while she's telling the
this
story.
is something that will help you because I promise this is something I've already done and I've seen the result, and so I can attest that this is something you need to do. If you have had people in your past that have burned you, done you wrong, can be a boy. Actually, I'll have to admit, one of mine was a boy in this scenario.
Right.
So, or situation, whatever you want to call it. So, but if somebody's done you wrong, if somebody you really are done with in your life, you got and I'm telling you, you got to make sure this person's like completely gone. You would never want to see them again. You would never want to cross their path again. Because I had a situation where I had some really close girls of mine, and I had tight groups of girls and circles of girls that we did happy hours with, various different women that came in and out of this group. But for 25 something years that I lived in Columbia, we did this. And some girls came in, some girls came out by choice, or some we kind of had to kick out, which I hate to say it. But there were some of those girls, somebody brought one in and said, oh, everybody's going to love this girl. And she clashed with the wrong people.
There's
and sorry,
always that one.
that girl had to go out. But anyway, these other girls were really close friends of mine. Long of the short, I had a very important birthday of mine. I actually turned the big 50, and COVID year, so it was a bad year. But I kind of didn't hear from these girls, and there were things. I'm not going to get into the whole story, but the long of the short was they were three people. Whether it was, I didn't expect phone calls that day because I had a lot going on that day. I actually hired the band we always talk about, Villanova. I hired them to play. So they were playing. My birthday's on Halloween, so it was Halloween. It happened to be on a Saturday that year, full moon, and I turned 50. So anyway, but the next day, Sunday, I got up and I didn't hear from these girls. So kind of a little heartful, broken hearted there. And I took it really hard, I guess. And I probably did things that, it's like, I can't believe she did that. But I kind of defriended them all, and it got nasty. Let's just say that. After that, there were some things that were said. There were angles that I got back off of some of these girls that were totally unexpected. I mean, things were like, when you're my friend, you're my friend. I don't keep scores on how many things you've done for me, and I've
Yeah.
done for you. I'm not a point person here. Like, I'm your
Right.
friend till the end. And one of the girls just started bringing up baggage and things that was coming back from like 10 or 12 years ago that made no sense to me, and taking really huge stabs at me. And the last one that kind of broke the camel's back is when she personally said a comment that made reference to him. She was, I'll admit, she was somebody who really wasn't a faith believer. She didn't believe in God. My family's very faithful. I'm a believer. I've always believed. And, I'm not the one to say I'm in church every Sunday, but I have a strong faith, and my family has always had a strong faith. And she had the nerve to basically say that her so-called atheist ass sat at a pew at your mama's funeral. And I just could not believe that. I mean, that was like almost using my mother's death in a way that was very hurtful to me.
That is
So
hurtful.
after that, I had to deassociate with these people and literally just say my life is better off without it. And there were some things kind of before that anyway. COVID had hit. We were doing things where we were doing, everybody was doing those FaceTime chats, get
Yeah.
together on FaceTime. We were
Yeah, like
FaceTime
Zoom
happy hour,
calls and
stuff
stuff
like
like
that.
that.
Well, it had gotten to that, and on. It was just it. I think there's one thing about human contact is very important, because it was almost like I felt like something was lost in those when we had to go to those chats. I mean, I logged in one day and I was on there like 7 or 8 minutes before anything was said, and we're talking like maybe 4 or 5 girls. This isn't wasn't a big group. But anyway, so I had to tell you that history because I deassociated. I said, you hurt me, I'm not going to be hurt by you anymore. You're out, I'm done. But lo and behold, don't you feel sometimes when you have anger against people, sometimes even though you feel like you forgive them, but you dream about them, like they come up in your dreams.
Yes,
So
that's
you
happened to
dream
me.
about them. You dream about them. You're like, oh shit. And you wake up and you go, why am I dreaming about them? Because I'm done with this person. I have mentally disassociated myself with that person because I've moved forward and I know my life is better without them. So I heard of this thing, and it was where they tell you that you need to write down the names of these people, and you need to burn that paper, set it on fire, burn it to where it's down to the ashes. Then you need to bury those ashes, and that's then you're done. Then you're truly done. So my aunt and I did this when I went to Columbia. And I wrote a dude's name and these other 3 girls, because I've never really wanted anybody else to be out of my life like that, I guess you could say. And so we set them on fire. We even buried the pencil that we wrote them down. And she was like, really? My aunt was, I was like, well, we're going to bury the pencil too. So, but we set
Gotta
them
get
on
rid of it all.
fire and buried it all. And I will have to say, since that time, that none of them bitches and that dude have crept up in my dreams. I would dream about the guy more so really than the girls, but the girls will creep up a lot too. But since that time, nothing. So write the people down, but you really got to make sure you're done.
You
You're done.
Gotta take out the
And I
trash.
almost feel like
way.
now, if you were to go back to that person, it would be really bad juju, because you've already got him out.
Yeah.
You don't want to invite him back in. So make
No,
sure you're really sure that you're done with the juju with that person. Be done.
Definitely.
But I suggest that for the new year if you want to get rid of some bad
Yeah.
juju.
Time to take out the trash and,
Exactly.
get your life on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I did post a link for anybody that wants to come up and talk or just say hey or anything like that. So I'm going to give that a few minutes just to see if anybody is going to come up. We like to do this viewer response. We kind of want to hear what y'all have to say about what we have to say. Or if you have any sort of, things that you want to add to the conversation.
Or again, like some of our other topics, always go back and check out some of the other episodes where we've talked about some juicy things now.
Oh Lord,
You
we
know,
have.
some
We talked about the one night stands. We've talked about the
threesomes.
we've talked about the don't let your friends hook you up with any of their friends.
Yeah.
That's some bad juju right there too.
Older men with younger women with older women with younger men.
Yeah, my last two have been younger. It's time to go older, I think.
I tell you. Oh, so I did have this guy at the grocery store. He was sitting on my bag and he was like, "You look like you're in shape and take care of yourself." And he was like being so insistent. And he does work out at the same gym I do. I'm not gonna say what gym that is, but and he started going on about some of the dates he had been on and everything, like literally dropping all this stuff on. And I'm like, dude, don't you hate when people are like that? Like, I don't really give a shit. I don't know these people. Like, I don't. But
Right.
he was so
No, that's
insistent
right, though.
on making me literally take his number,
Yeah.
And so I ended up literally taking his number, and I have not texted him yet, and thankfully have not seen him in the gym.
I feel so out of touch with like flirting and trying to pick up a guy that I don't even know if I would know if a guy is trying to pick me
We
up.
should do that one night. We should try to find some guys and try to throw some little hit moves on them and see what
Yeah,
happens.
because like I mean, like I'll admit it. So I was
wait, Tay now so we go out Saturday night to see this band that Tay likes.
Yeah,
y'all, these young girls out, I don't understand.
I just want to mention
it was crop top night. Let's say.
Can I give a shout out to my boy?
Go ahead.
Will Sheehan and Off the Wall. They're fantastic.
They're a great man.
Anyway, go ahead.
Very good man. So we went to see him, and
Yes.
and oh my God, like these girls out, I just don't understand. Like it was like I said, crop top night because half of them had these crop tops on with all their. So now it was fucking. Oh, excuse me.
You're good.
It was pretty flipping cold on
It
Saturday.
happens. No worries.
And so, we're in and I told Tete, I said, you can tell when people aren't from here because they dress up to go out. You don't dress up to go out here. It's not a place. If you live here, you know what I'm talking about. You don't dress up to go out. So, but it was just, these girls it's just so sad. And they're college girls because I happened to be in the bathroom when one of them came in and they were late and they were sorority girls. And it's like, oh, please.
Did you figure out if they were local or not?
I mean, I only could think they went to the college that's in our area, which I really guess I can't say.
Yeah, no, no, you don't have to say. But I don't. It was
a very interesting night. We didn't pull a late nighter because then they all started falling in, and we had our view block because we got right up to a little heater. We were in a toasty little spot, and then we couldn't see, and it was like I
couldn't see my will, and that was bad. Mm-hmm. Just saying, sorry. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if I would know if a guy is like trying to pick me up. So I'm at Food Lion the other day, picking up some groceries, my least favorite thing to do. So I'm getting ready to load everything into my car, and this guy is literally like, I don't know, a couple feet ahead of me because I guess like his car was like right beside mine. And he was trying to get through, but he was being polite. Like he was, letting me do my thing. So he goes, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "Good. How about you?" I said, and I told him, I need to break up with grocery shopping because this is
right.
I hate doing this stuff. And he started laughing. He goes, "I know that's right." He's like, "My sister-in-law does like big runs and stuff like that." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And you could tell that I think he was trying to like flirt, but it went way over my head, unfortunately. But he was super cute and he was super nice. And if I run into him again, I'm going to get my flirt on.
There you go. Work the flirt. Work the flirt.
Because he was cute. But anyway, yeah, I'm just totally lost, I guess, whenever it comes to like flirting and trying to pick up a guy anymore. So I definitely need to work on that in the new year.
We'll work on that.
Definitely. So it doesn't look like we have any offers to come up, but we're going to be doing more live streams like this. So, we're going to have more opportunities for people to come on up and say hey and whatnot.
And tell us what you're thinking and all.
Yeah.
Again, we always look for topics about, now that we've opened up that olive branch to anything other than dating and relationships. If there's other topics and things that you would want us to touch base on and talk about, send us those. We have an email address. It's two chicks tell all yeah. For the longest time, I would say talk trash. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But we tell all, two chicks tell all at gmail.com.
Yeah, and we love to hear your stories. I love the viewer story that we got last week.
Right, yeah, we were excited.
It was great. So if you want to go ahead and send us any more, it can be in relative to pretty much anything.
Yeah.
And also, if there's a topic that we had talked about in the past that you have a story to pair with it, that's fine. Go ahead and send it to us. We kind of want to feature our viewers' stories and stuff like that. So yeah, we talked about the email. We have a YouTube channel, Two Chicks Tell All. If you haven't subscribed to it, please go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, but we're looking to grow our channel, so eventually we can get paid to do this.
That's right. And then then we can hook you up, and you can see Buddy's story too. My lizard, he's on. He's got. Well, I don't have him a channel, but I do have a YouTube channel myself. He's got some videos on there, so we could. Maybe I can share those on our page.
Yeah, go for it.
So Buddy can get a fan base. So yeah, so next week we're going to talk about what everybody kind of hates to talk about, but diets. We're going to just do some research on what are some trendy diets going on now. I know a lot of people do the fasting and stuff like that. So
intermittent fasting is huge.
So we're going to do a little research about which ones work best, and some are obviously going to work better for some people than others. So we're going to look into some of that and also just lifestyle.
Yeah, because I don't know, I feel like diets are so hard to keep up with at times, but if you just make small changes in your life, that can mean something too.
Yeah.
So you'll notice that if you start to make just lifestyle changes, you'll lose weight, you'll feel better.
I really should try the no alcohol for a month and see. I can't say I'm doing dry January because sorry, I'm already way past into that.
You're good, girl.
But in February, are we in for a short year this year? Or is it still on the
Let me check the calendar.
So maybe I could do February. Maybe I could try that because I really would like to do that. Maybe that could be one of my goals that I could really start in February, is just try to completely, which means I always say I can't go out, but that I shouldn't get that in my mind.
So yeah, we only have 28 days in February.
Who wants to jump on the February challenge of the dry February? We could. If I need some people to hold me to it, and I might feel more obligated to do it. So always give me to do it with somebody else.
I'm not doing alcohol for 90 days. So
I
can definitely hold you accountable.
There you go. Okay,
which that's been hard. That's been hard because I like to go out and see my friends play music. And sometimes I like to have a drink with them, but I'm doing this no alcohol thing and it's been hard.
Yeah.
But I know that it's going to be good for me. I mean, not that I drink a lot as it is, but I just want to see what kind of results
it'll be much harder for me to take the dry month.
I know,
but we'll see. I'm going to try to.
Although
I got to go ahead and get it in my mind, and I'll start talking myself into that. Build myself up so I can get my confidence up that I know I'll be able to maybe do it. Yay.
It's been hard though, because usually I like to have a beer or a glass of wine before we do our podcast because it kind of gets me going, and I haven't been able to.
No, I know, right?
So I've just been drinking my Diet Dr. Pepper here tonight, and that's that.
She's doing it. Yay, Tay-Tay.
But anyway, so we're just going to go ahead and close for the evening, but we hope that you enjoyed our podcast.
We appreciate y'all.
Yes, if you're catching the replay, don't be afraid to comment and let us know what y'all think. And, don't be afraid to comment some different topics that you would like us to cover.
Yes.
We do like hearing about that type of stuff. So, don't be afraid to reach out to us and let us know what you think. So this is Two Chicks Tell All signing off. It's your girl Tay-Tay
and Cece.
All right, and we hope y'all have a good week.
See ya.
See ya.